viewers, and welcome back on the Agile Show. So our question today is calculate the profit of the multiplant monopolist given the following data. So our quantity is given by 200 minus 2p. Remember, p is our price. Cost function of the first firm is given by 10q, and cost function of the second firm are 0.25q squared. Now we have to know what is the formula for getting the profit. Profit is given by total revenue minus total cost. And remember, total revenue is given by price times quantity. But do you have the price function? No, we'll have to calculate it from our quantity function here. So by rearranging the equation as 2p is equal to 200 minus q, and we divide both sides by 2 to remain with p. Remember, p is the price here. It will be equal to 200 divided by 2, which is 100, minus q divided by 2 is 0.5 q, and let this be our first equation. Now remember, I said total revenue is given by price times quantity, but now our price equation is here as 100 minus 0.5 q. Now by substituting 100 minus 0.5 q in place of p, we'll have 100 minus 0.5 q times q. Then from there, we'll now be opening our bracket. That will be 100q minus 0.5 q squared. How do we calculate marginal revenue? Marginal revenue is just a change in total revenue over a change in quantity. And how will we get it? We get it by using the power rule of differentiation. For example, n x raised to power n minus 1. So we go back to our total revenue equation, which is here. We are going to differentiate this equation. So that will be 100 times 1, which is the power there, gives us 100. Then q raised to power 1 minus 1 is 0. So q is done with. So we only have 100 there, minus 2 times 0.5, which is 1. Then q is raised to power 2 minus 1. We remain with only q. But remember, this q represent the quantity for the two firms. So by separating it, we'll have 100 minus q1 plus q2. Then we'll be required to calculate the marginal revenue of the first firm, and this is done only through what we call differentiating of the cost function for the first firm, which was 10q. So remember, q is raised to power 1 here. So 1 times 10 is 10. Then q is raised to power 1 minus 1 becomes to 0. So a number raised to 0 is just a 0. So in that area, we'll be having 10. Then marginal cost for the second firm will be differentiating the cost function for the second firm, which is just 0.5 q2. Now, marginal revenue should be equal to marginal cost now for the two firms, because it is a multiplant. These are monopolists having two firms in the industry. So marginal revenue is given by MR will be equal to marginal cost. This is for the first firm, but remember, marginal revenue is here. Then the marginal cost is given by 10 for the first firm. So by equating the two and doing your calculation or rearranging everything and opening the brackets, we are going to arrive at quantity for the first firm plus quantity for the second firm being equal to 90. And let this be our second equation. Now, marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost of the second firm. You equate still the same marginal revenue, which is here. You equate to our marginal cost, which you calculated. It is here for the second firm, q2. So by opening bracket and doing your calculation here, you're going to have 1.5 Q2 plus Q1 is equal to 100, and let this be our third equation. Now moving on, by using your calculator, now we'll be able to get the value for Q2 and Q1. Remember, Q1 plus Q2 is equal to 90 was our second equation here. Then Q1 plus 1.5 Q2 is equal to 100 was our third equation. So by calculating this simultaneously, we'll have negative 0.5. Remember, we are subtracting there. So negative 0.5 Q2 is equal to negative 10. Dividing both sides by 0.5, negative 0.5. This one will be 1. We remain with Q2 will now be equal to negative 10 divided by negative 0.5 will give us 20 units. Then using equation 2 still, Q1 plus Q2 is equal to 90. And remember, Q2 is now 20. So Q1 plus 20 is equal to 90. So our Q1 will be given by 90 minus 20, which gives us 70 units. Remember from equation 1 here, the price function we calculated to be 100 minus 0.5 Q. So, but we now know the Q. Remember, this Q represents the quantity for the two farms. Now, 100 minus 0.5 into, remember our quantity for the first farm was 70, and quantity for the second farm was 20. Now by adding the two, we get 90 as our Q. Calculating this on your calculator, you'll be able to get 55 as the price that was being charged by these monopolies. Now to the question again, we are asked the profit. How do you get the profit of these monopolies? So profit, you will calculate it, but you need to determine the total revenue of these monopolies. So total revenue is equal to price times quantity, but our price is 55, quantity is now 90. Multiplying the two, the total revenue becomes 50. But we said now to get the profit, you have to calculate by total revenue minus total cost. But what is our total cost? Remember, total cost will be equal to cost of the first farm plus cost of the second farm. But cost of the first farm was given by 10 Q1, which will be 10 times the quantity of 1, which was 70. That is 700. Then cost 2 was given by 0.25 Q squared of 2, and that will be 0.25 times Q2, which was 20 squared. So working out that one will be giving us the answer. Now we have calculated our cost for the first farm. Remember, it was 10Q, so our Q is 70. So by substituting that to our equation, we are going to get 700 for cost for the first farm. Then cost for the second farm was 0.25 Q2 squared. So by substituting the value of Q2, which was 20, we find our cost for the second farm as 100. So total cost will be cost for the first farm plus cost for the second farm, which is equal to 800 units. So how will we calculate the profit? Profit is equal to total revenue minus total cost. That is total revenue, which is 4,950 minus total cost, which is now 800. Then you find our profit as 4150. So that is how we calculate the multiplant or monopolist. You can review the working and drop your comment to see which other calculation do you want us to handle for you. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.